found my daddy with panther claws in his chest. You ain't the son of a king, you a son of a murderer.
Hey, Auntie.
Why so serious?
Now we come here not as conquerors, but as liberators to return control of this city to the people.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Welcome to Off the Top. I am Bushido Spirit. Here I have Mo.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Alright, and we're discussing the new trailers that drop. The first trailer we're going to talk about is the Swamp Thing. So go ahead and take it away, Mo. Is there anything that we should know about this before we get into the trailer?
Well, today's news before this thing even came out is that Swamp Thing has halted production. They would be actively filming it right now so that the entire season is done before the show comes out. But what happened was, not only was it halted, they also decided that instead of it being about 13 episodes long, they're going to limit it to 10 episodes long. They're rewriting the ending so it can be ended by the 10th episode. And it seems like overall there have been some production issues we haven't heard about until now. People are speculating that... Yeah, people are speculating it might have something to do with the fact that the budget went over and like they can't afford to make the next few episodes, and maybe the DC streaming service isn't successful enough to warrant that show making 13 episodes of unproven property so far. Yeah. So that's kind of where we are right now. And then this shit drops.
There's nothing wrong with fucking 10 episodes anyway. I know Marvel struggled with. They kept trying to force 13 episodes down our throat when the show didn't really warrant that many episodes. It kind of messed the shows up in the end, kind of dragged things out to have those extra episodes. So, I mean, 10 is not bad, but it seemed like they rushing this from what you were saying. They dropped the trailer already, and they refilming the whole thing because the budget wasn't together. So,
well, they're not refilming the whole thing. They're just rewriting the ending so that they can end it by the 10th episode instead of the 14th,
Okay. Now, is this natural? Is this normal for shows to drop a trailer and still be filming shit?
Yeah, definitely. What ends up happening a lot of the time is syndicated shows on television will only have about half their season filmed by the time the first episode even drops. You know what I mean?
Okay. Was there anything else?
No. I mean, we could talk about the character of Swamp Thing once we're done with the trailer. I just kind of want to see what version they're going about it with. So.
Yeah, because I always thought of Swamp Thing as a horror film. I never knew that it was from a comic book. I just thought it was like a monster flick. Like,
that's what it should be. That's kind of what it should be, to be honest with you. Because the idea is that the Swamp Thing character is a horror character. I won't go into too much detail about it, but he is a body horror character. He's a character that goes through a horrific transformation that
like Fly.
Just kind of. Yeah, kind of. Exactly like The Fly. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they get the makeup right, because I done seen some old Swamp Things, and I don't know. Let's play the trailer here.
Let's watch the video.
Let's play the trailer.
That's a swamp.
It's a swamp. Just look like shit. Every time I see the swamp, I just think of Duke.
Hold up.
Uh-oh. Okay.
That should look dope.
It look pretty tight. Okay. I mean, it was kind of dark, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it was dark. Yeah, I mean, it's horror. I mean, we've got that much so far. It's horror.
Let's play it back. Let's see that one more again. Let's play that bad boy back. It's a short teaser, so that's not really much. Okay. All right. So, what are your thoughts on just based off what we've seen in this teaser?
It looks like the character, so that's really all we can get from this. The idea is that it's only 44 seconds, and the thing I was kind of worried about was that it was going to be a teaser that has all this footage of regular people doing regular shit, and then we see maybe a second or a hint of like what Swamp Thing looks like. And I'm kind of glad that they cut all the bullshit and just showed us the character that we're trying to watch, you know. And
Yeah, but you don't
I
really
think
get
I think he
nothing
looks
from
good.
this. I mean, yeah, he looks alright. I mean, I'm trying to think of the technique they went with doing so. Don't the eyes look kind of CG'd on? Hold up.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have to see the show for more than 4 seconds of just the character that isn't moving to see how he looks and stuff. But what I've gotten from it so far is that from people that have gone to Warner Brothers, like the set of like DC Daily and all the other stuff on their streaming service, they've gotten to see exclusive footage of the actual show, and what we've gathered from it, from the stuff that they can say, is that it's going to be sort of like a police procedural almost. Do you see what I'm saying? It's going to be like
Okay.
almost like a small town and the police force trying to figure out what's happening with this whole Swamp Thing situation.
Yeah, I guess it's like the
I
other
actually
movies, yeah. Aren't they like police
yeah.
procedurals?
Yeah, I actually just it might actually just be more of an investigative thing. Let me see. Might be a mystery even. I mean, I'll look into the sort of synopsis that they've kind of released about Swamp Thing. They said while looking into an epidemic in her Louisiana hometown, CDC investigator Abby Arcane discovers that the local swamps hold numerous secrets after her partner seemingly dies and transforms into Swamp Thing. Okay?
Okay,
So
okay.
the idea is supposed to be a character named Alec Holland, right? Alec Holland ends up supposedly dying in this show and actually being reincarnated as Swamp Thing. And I'm guessing the way this show is framing it in is that the old lover slash detective that's been assigned looking into this Swamp Thing situation is gonna be finding out slowly that the person that's been haunting or moving around in this sort of hometown is her lover, and that's kind of the emotional crux of the show.
Okay, okay. I mean, it sound interesting. So you're saying her lover is Swamp Thing or some
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I can get into the minutia of it, but like the idea is supposed to be Swamp Thing is the protector of the green, and the green is supposed to be in the
protector
DC
of the
universe.
green?
Yeah, I'll make sense of it. So the idea is supposed to be that in the DC universe, all plant life is sort of like called the green almost. Like any organic plant life is called the green. And certain characters can connect to the green, such as Poison Ivy,
Yeah,
Floronic
what the
Man, and
fuck
Swamp
is
Thing.
like I'm
You
tired
know
of
what I mean?
DC doing shit like that. Like and it's the same
Yeah, I
shit
mean
with
there's
like
the
Green Lantern and Flash, the protector of the Speed Force and shit. Like I'm
Yeah,
tired of
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit,
I mean,
man.
there's,
Stop.
or I mean, that's just it. Or
Yeah,
DC knows that they're making comics. You know, like things don't
yeah.
have to be the most serious thing ever. Like, there's also the Red. You know, like there's a character called Animal Man that's in tune with the Red, and the Red is
Oh
like
my
organic, like animal life, like
god.
sentient human life and animal life and stuff like that, and they can connect to that. And there's also Varot, which is like death, any like dead matter, like they can bring things back from the dead. But the idea is supposed to be that Alec Holland is chosen as the guardian of the green, part of the Parliament of Trees, where he's essentially the protector of all organic plant life on the entire planet. That's him. He's the Aquaman of greenery.
Okay,
That's what
so
he is.
is it gonna be on some fucking PETA SJW shit? Are we trying to protect?
I
Well,
mean,
not the
I
animals, but we're
doubt.
trying to protect the forest
I
and the swamp. Like, what
I,
is it gonna be on?
I doubt it. I mean, it's more so going to be committing itself to being a horror thing. So the idea is
Okay,
supposed to be he can't go back to being a regular dude. He looks like that all the time. That's him. You see what I'm saying? He loses his body, he loses his life, and without even really like choosing it, a generation of old, like I guess you could call them deities,
yeah.
have chosen him to become the protector of all plant life on the planet. And I guess this show is going to be about less so that sort of stuff and more so about how his lover, you know what I'm saying, Eva finds out and is disgusted by the fact that he's become Swamp Thing or grows to move beyond that sort of barrier where it's like, oh yeah, you're going to be disgusting forever. You know what I mean? I don't
Damn.
know.
I mean, it's interesting to see where they take this. Now, did they say
Yeah.
they said it was gonna be like a police procedural? Is there any other genres that we can throw in there, like maybe romance,
Horror. It's
just horror?
definitely
Okay.
gonna be a horror. It's a
Okay.
horror. Like you said it before. Like it's body horror. It's this guy that like it formed into this swamp thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Do you I guess we gotta wait and see. We can't really say much about this just based off what we've seen in this teaser.
Right.
Yeah, and then they're still filming, the ending, like you said. So I don't know, man. Was Swamp Thing a popular comic? Is this something that people want to see?
I'm happy you asked that question because I can say this right now. Swamp Thing is one of my favorite DC characters. And moving away from how I personally feel about it, generally Swamp Thing is kind of like this cult character in DC Comics. Like he's a character that people absolutely fucking love, but they don't love him the same way Superman and Batman are loved. But like the lowest common denominator knows about Superman and Batman. They're like, oh yeah, Superman, Batman, they're the best, blah blah. But like, uh, Swamp Thing and John Constantine, you are like those characters that like DC fans or really just comic book fans absolutely love because they have amazing stories. You see what I'm saying? Like the reason people love Swamp Thing isn't just because Swamp Thing is a cool concept. It's because some of the best writers in comics, period, write Swamp Thing. You know what I mean? Like Alan Moore, the guy that created Watchmen, wrote like one of the most prolific runs of Swamp Thing ever. You know what I mean? And Scott Snyder, the dude that wrote like Court of Owls, like and a whole
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
mean,
Batman stories.
this is kind of in the line of what Marvel does with a lot of their characters. This fucking this fucking outsider, this mutant, this fucking this deformed person that's trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, I
I'll say I appreciate the comparison to Marvel because it seems like if I had to compare any Marvel character to Swamp Thing, and this is not about like the premise of Swamp Thing or
uh-huh.
anything like that. I mean more so just like their appeal, right? Daredevil. You see what I'm saying? Because when you look at Daredevil, right? Daredevil is not popular in the same way Spider-Man is, but Daredevil has had so many great stories with that character that making a long-form TV show about him makes all the sense in the world because it's
Yeah.
like almost every writer worth their salt. And I mean that's kind of a massive statement, but like a whole bunch of amazing writers have written Daredevil. So many great writers have written Daredevil. So many great writers have written Swamp Thing. And I feel like a detective show is kind of the best format for that sort of story. You know what I mean? Because
It kind
Swamp
of
Thing,
forces you to be creative when the character is not OP as hell like the other characters they have.
hell yeah, dude, like Swamp Thing should be able to actively like dematerialize and reappear in any area where there's greenery in the world. You see what I'm saying? Like this character,
That's kind of hack.
yeah, like this dude that controls all plant life, all plant life. He is like he's Mother Nature. If we're trying to put it that way,
Mother
like he
Nature
can
was
control
a
all.
unattractive, deformed mutant thing.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and a nigga.
And a nigga.
Yeah. Well, white man, but still, you know. Yeah.
Let me see. See if I have any other questions about this character here. So yeah, it's gonna be a horror film. Now, will he be? Like, I'm trying to figure out who will be the protagonist. I know the story is around based on Swamp Thing. Is he like an anti-hero or some shit? Like, is he gonna be the person that we follow, or are we gonna follow these other people that'll just come in contact with the Swamp Thing on some Jason shit?
Well, here's the thing. Like the reason I compared him kind of to like John Constantine in a sense is that he isn't necessarily a clear cut hero. And not to say that he does bad things, but like his motivation isn't the same as a regular hero is. Like what's Batman and Superman's motivation? Is to save people, right?
Yeah.
Well, sadly, Swamp Thing hasn't been assigned the job to save people per se. He's been assigned the job to save plant life and
mutant.
you know what I'm
Like,
saying?
nobody wants to be saved by a hideous fucking
You know,
swamp
exactly. I mean,
creature.
but that's the whole thing, though. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's what makes these characters kind of interesting. I feel, you know, what I mean, like a big thing. Like I love John Constantine. John Constantine, like Hellblazer, that's one of my favorite characters as well. Because he isn't a hero. Like, and I don't mean that because I hate reading about heroes. I'm just saying he's kind of refreshing to be around. Because John Constantine is a character that doesn't care about anybody but himself. He's a selfish, disgusting, gross loser. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, like every now and then he has moments where you see his humanity and he saves somebody or does a crazy nice gesture for somebody. And Swamp Thing is kind of the same. Like Swamp Thing goes through this almost Hulk-like transformation where he can't go back. He has the same frame of mind that he had before. Like Hulk kind of has this thing where it's like he can't fully be in control because his other thing takes over, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Alec Holland's always in control. It's just about him questioning his own humanity when he looks like the way he does. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So-
Okay. I kind of fuck with that right there. It's gonna be like a character study or some shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, body horror. It's like almost like the Thing from the Fantastic Four. It's like, oh, you guys think this is a blessing. Like you get to stretch, you get to be on fire
Yeah.
and turn it off. But like I'm hideous. Like I can't go back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I love that about just the Fantastic Four in general. Like all these, the way they get their powers is really like a horror story.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
yeah, so I fuck with that. Any final thoughts before we move on?
Despite the production issues we heard about recently, I am excited about this. I hope it's successful because, to be honest, if this fails, I don't feel like we're going to see any more Swamp Thing live action media while we're still alive on this planet, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? So every
Yeah.
time something like this comes out, I'm pretty excited about. Also, if this is any indication, it seems like the DC streaming service is trying to make shows about characters that otherwise wouldn't be able to get shows.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like look at Doom Patrol, right? Doom Patrol, I thought it was gonna be atrocious because of like how bad Titans was, right? But I couldn't be more wrong. Doom Patrol is a really specific show, it isn't exactly for everybody, but for the people that it is for, they love it. You see what I'm saying? And what ends up happening there is that DC's cultivating a specific niche fan base that they've made this streaming service for to begin with. The more marketable, easily accessible stuff like Flash and Supergirl and everything else like that is on the CW for everybody to watch every week. But then you have these other shows that might only pop up every year or two on their streaming service for characters that are less high profile and a lot more personable.
Okay. I fuck with it. All right. And I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, how do y'all feel about Swamp Thing in the comment section? Do you have any suggestions for future videos? I am Bushido. He is Mo. Peace out.